Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. As you can see here on the screen, this is what I would believe is the most accurate website that tracks full self-driving beta miles. Yesterday night, a Tesla account tweeted out that they've reached over 1 billion miles. Less than 24 hours later, there are now 2.2 million extra miles and increasing quite fast. I'll come back to the FSD part a bit later. We already talked about the robotaxi announcement in another video. If you missed that, it's going to be in the top right corner. But in this video, I first want to focus on the usual thing that we do in those Tesla weekly videos, China numbers and numbers out of Europe as well. And then we'll go circle back to the FSD part. So first up here, the China weekly insured number for the last week of March was actually a pretty good week. 17,300 Tesla insured vehicles. The quarter is down 22%. Year to date, we're down 2% from the year ago. But as you can see, we're not that far away from the 2024 number, despite all the bad news that we've got, right? So, I mean, there might be some positivity here. Now, of course, now with Q2 already starting, let's see if they can continue that positive momentum that we've seen in the last 2 weeks. As for Tesla wholesale, that's local sales and export for the month of March, the CPCA number was 89,064. And as we've discussed last week, Tesla has taken back the crown from BYD. So in Q1, Tesla overtook BYD for global BEV sales. I think it's very important to remember that while Tesla and BYD are competitors, the market that they're both going after is the global car market. And the global car market is pretty big for those two players. Now, of course, there are plenty of other players out there, but if we're talking about EVs, the two biggest ones, we're talking about Tesla and BYD. And as we've seen, it's not just a Tesla problem. BYD is also struggling with sales, so it is an overall EV sentiment, an overall EV issue. Now, we've got actually some more news with regards to how sales are going on in Europe. More on that in a second. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, we really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get a top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So below here again with the great comparisons, we can see that we are down quarter over quarter, where we've actually been going down for a couple of quarters now. If you look since Q4 of 2022, the trend was on the way down. If we look at particular countries, we can see that the largest countries, right, Germany, UK, and France, they're all down. But then if you look at other countries, for example, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain, Switzerland, they're up by quite a lot, which explains why Q1 is not down by that much compared to last year. Yes, the biggest countries aren't doing great right now, but there are plenty of other countries that are pushing these numbers higher and higher. Of course, it remains to be seen if that can continue throughout the years. Maybe we're going to get some positivity from the biggest markets as well. Could also very well be. Now, going back to the announcement from yesterday, right? 1 billion FSD miles driven. Of course, you can also see, you've probably heard this already. If you zoom in, you can clearly see that in the last couple of weeks, days or so, there was a huge spike. That's probably when they started to offer free trials, when they started to show potential customers what FSD can do, and probably also since version 12 became available to more and more people. Since it is such a great release, there are less and less people that are disengaging, which means more FSD miles get recorded. And the more this continues, the better the software, the less you have to disengage, and the higher that number goes, the more data they can collect, the more training that occurs, and the better the software gets. Elon Musk then responded here, won't be long before Tesla exceeds 10 billion miles of FSD. Remember, he previously said that Tesla has to reach approximately 6 billion miles to be basically approved worldwide. I mean, it's not you reach 6 billion miles, you're going to get approved. No, but after 6 billion miles driven, you probably have a lot of data, enough data to show, look, this is what happens. It's better than humans, so should be approved. Again, should be approved. Hallmark tweeted out actually a couple of days before this whole thing that happened on Friday. In the future, every car will be self-driving and electric. Every car Tesla makes is self-driving and electric, and they are the world leaders in EV sales. As robot cars eat the auto market, Tesla will be the overwhelming benefactor. To which Elon Musk here responded, and we will license the tech to other car companies. Of course, they will not license the tech to other companies unless they can show that it works and unless it is approved by regulators. Just so we're clear. And also, whenever we're talking about FSD, you have to know that we're talking about FSD in the United States because, well, that's the only place where right now people are trying it out. Then, continuing here on the FSD trend and why Tesla does have a huge advantage here, Elon Musk actually responding to a post from last year, basically saying it has been staggeringly difficult to make generalized self-driving work, requiring all that you describe above and more. The investment in training compute, gigantic data pipelines, and vast video storage will be well over $10 billion cumulatively this year. I've already seen a post, someone saying, oh, Tesla is going to spend $10 billion this year. No, this is cumulatively. And then continue by saying here, but this is nothing compared to the $250 billion in cars on the road with Tesla-designed AI inference computers being trained by their drivers. How do they reach the $250 billion? Basically, the 6 million vehicles on the road. Now, touching back on this article by Reuters yesterday, right? Because when this came out, all hell broke loose, right? They're lying, Elon's lying, what's the truth? We don't know. Is the compact car cancelled? Is it not cancelled? Etc., etc. I mean, they even added here, right? Tesla did not respond to the request for comment after the story was published. Musk posted on his social media site X that Reuters is lying again. He did not identify any specific inaccuracies, which is true, right? He did not say which part is a lie, because we don't know. Did he just read the headline and say that's a lie? Did he read the whole thing and said that's a lie on a specific thing? We don't know. Again, we're weeks out from the earnings report. I'm pretty sure that they're not allowed to speak that much, which is why I was very, very surprised at that tweet that he announced robotaxi event in August. Usually you cannot say anything. It's a quiet period for a reason. But then again, I'm no lawyer, so yeah. I don't know. But overall, let's not forget what Tesla is doing right now. Yes, automotive sales are probably going to take a hit this year unless somehow they figured out how to reduce costs dramatically, which they said they're going to do this year. They're still going to try to reduce the cost to make a vehicle. Ramping up a Cybertruck is probably going to hurt margin as well. Some cost cuts in Australia are happening as well. That's probably going to hurt a little bit, even though they did raise the price of the Model Y on April 1st by $1,000. There's also the energy side of the business that is growing quite fast and has higher margins. Services side of the business, which will only become bigger and bigger over time as more and more Tesla cars are on the road. This business is also very profitable and fast growing. Plus FSD. Now with the free trials, I made a prediction on X. This is just a prediction. Next earnings call, I think they're going to say take rate for FSD has increased meaningfully. That's just my prediction. I think that will soften the blow of bad Q1 results and probably not so great comments for Q2. A lot of focus will probably be on the take rate, on software margins, on FSD, maybe hopefully on the energy side of the business as well. Because again, if you go over the transcript of the past couple of earnings calls, you are not really getting a lot of information, unfortunately. Now, talking about the earnings call, the earnings report, this is what analysts are expecting for the upcoming quarters. So sales to be down year over year and quarter over quarter. Gross profit, this is adjusted to be down year over year and quarter over quarter, approximately 11 to 13%. Gross margin to be around 16.85%. Net income adjusted to be down 34.6% year over year and 22.87% quarter over quarter to $1.91 billion. EPS adjusted of 56 cents and EPS gap of 51 cents, which means it's going to be down 30% year over year and 77% quarter over quarter. With regards to cash flow and cash from operations and free cash flow is actually going to increase. Well, the expectations are for it to be increasing year over year. Cash from operations by 35%, free cash flow by 211%, but down quarter over quarter between 22 and 33% respectively. Now, I know right now a lot of the attention is with regards to that robotaxi thing, but let's not forget that the robotaxi network will not be here for the next coming years. And even if it gets released in a year or two, it's probably only going to be in the United States. So what happens to Tesla around the world? In Europe, South America, in India, in China, Southeast Asia, Australia. Are we forgetting about that part of the world because we're just going to focus on robotaxis in the United States? Just doesn't make any sense, which is also why I think it just doesn't make any sense that Tesla is not going to make a compact car. I think they are going to make a compact car because, well, in markets like Europe, India, China, a compact car makes a lot of sense. In the United States, probably not. In the United States, people like bigger cars. The cars are more expensive. So, okay, even if they say that they're going to build it at Austin, I think a compact car in the United States, let's be honest, doesn't make much sense. So maybe they're going to do the compact car in the United States that's purely for a robotaxi network, even though I do think that they're going to do a type of minivan-ish robotaxi like with Zoox and all the other companies that already do it today. I've seen one in Belgium as well, in a resort. You go in, there's no driver, you just sit down and it just continues in circles. It's a pre-mapped, I know, but still, compact car, if they don't do it, it's a huge, huge mistake in my opinion. And so another prediction here to end the video, 8 of August, plus he said the year of the dragon. I do still think that we're going to get something for China. Maybe the announcement also of a Model 2, Chinese-made Model 2, and the release of FSD in China. Could very well be. I think that would be a huge, huge deal. And then a small demo of a robotaxi for the United States. So that will be it for this video. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.